What is going on, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew. Andrew's not here.
Andrew's not here. He's on vacation.
I'm David.
And Andrew is, he'll be back next week, I'm pretty sure. He's,
Maybe.
there's some flight things happening. And the airports are ruining everything.
He got stuck somewhere in the United States.
Yeah, this isn't new. We all knew airports are terrible. But we do have a lot to talk about this week. So we're going to do all of that. We have a bit of a backlog. YouTube testing some games. Pixel Fold review is out. Tesla charging standard is just all the dominoes are falling at once, and it's all happening.
Yes.
First of all, wait, David, you know this is a video podcast, right?
Wait, is my camera being covered up?
You are completely behind.
Sorry.
Laptop that you brought.
Let
Do
me
you mind maybe.
Sorry, I'll just
moving it.
turn it. There we go.
Oh, that's a huge difference that just made.
Better, right?
Jet.
Oh,
That's fine.
it's glitching.
No way, really. I am shocked by this. Okay, can you explain what's in front of you right now?
Yes.
Because I don't know. I have not seen this until now.
Okay, so this got announced at CES and finally came out like a couple weeks ago.
That is actually all you had to say.
Yeah.
That explains so much of what I'm looking at. This was announced at CES and it finally just came out in June. Okay, so what is
this computer is called the Lenovo Yogabook 9i. It's a dual screen laptop.
Laptop is a strong word.
Laptop is a strong word because you can't really use it on your lap. You can sometimes. There's basically 4 different form factors of it. I got very excited when I saw it at CES. And then a friend of the show, Michael Fisher, did a review on it recently, and I was like,
well, he'll review
sick.
anything that folds.
I know, exactly.
So that qualifies. It does fold in half.
But it's kind of dope because it has 2 screens, so you can either have it in like dual screen landscape orientation or dual screen portrait orientation. And it's got this like folding, what would you call the origami back kickstand?
I see that.
That also wraps around the exterior keyboard. It's actually very cool. I'll just show it to you real quick.
Okay.
So you can close it like this.
Is it cool though?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying.
And then the origami, not only does it hold the pen, it wraps around the keyboard.
Okay, that's
just
clever.
got it like that.
But the magnets aren't very strong. Can I hold it?
Yeah, you want to hold it?
The magnets don't seem very strong.
On that or this?
Oh, I thought this was magnetizing to the laptop.
No.
Oh, so you have to carry both.
Yeah. You also have to carry the mouse.
So you have to carry the laptop, the case,
Yeah.
and the mouse all separately.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. I know.
Is this actually good, or is this just kind of a fun thing if
It's
you're bored?
fun,
Like, if you're bored with laptops, this is cool, but this is actually not.
but there's so many form factors. Like, look at that. So, like,
I mean, yeah.
it's like origami, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
Magnets.
So you can have it, it like leans back. For audio listeners, I'm very sorry.
There's only one angle.
There's only one angle.
Yeah.
And it's, well, no, because there's that.
Well, then your top screen, I guess, has more angles.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just messing with it. It's fun. It's a fun piece of tech.
I wonder about these types of computers sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I see sometimes the Lenovo Yogabook and all the ones that like flip over, and the commercial with like use it in tent mode, use it in tablet mode.
Yeah.
And they work. And as a reviewer, I guess I can only say like, yeah, they do work. But as a user, I can't help but wonder like how many people actually use it in these different modes.
Lenovo is like the only company that would ever make something like this.
Of course.
Because they just make so many products that probably nobody buys.
Well, off axis, that screen is blue.
Yeah, the screens are not color matched like at all.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's running a 15-watt i7 Intel processor, but it's the U series, so it's 15 watts. So like you probably can't do anything that intensive on this.
Yeah.
But personally, like for research purposes and stuff, it's kind of fun. I think ultimately I would rather just use 2 Arc instances on my 16-inch MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
But I was that guy at the coffee shop yesterday with it. And
Did you have a vertical like?
Yes, I did.
So you had the keyboard in front of you, a screen in front of you, and then on top of that, a second screen because
Yes.
of how you had it oriented. Oriented?
Oriented, yeah.
Yeah,
Oriented, yeah.
That's weird.
Thanks.
It is.
What were you using it for? Like, what were you using
I was
your
writing
two
the
screens for?
podcast. Had the script on the top, and I had the websites I was referencing the info from on the bottom. And as someone who uses 2 screens all the time, because I like using 2 screens, I would never use this as my main.
That's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was getting to. I feel like we're so generous. We're like, oh yeah, it's like kind of cool, and the origami and the magnets are kind of strong, and I would never use this.
Yeah. It's cool and fun, and I just wanted to play with it, so...
That's totally fair.
And it's the closest any tech manufacturer has gotten to crumple phone.
That's true.
There's like 7 creases in this thing, if not more.
That's true.
Actually a fact.
We're on the fast track to progress, baby.
But they did think it through really well. Like, the origami thing wraps around the keyboard. It holds the pen, you know?
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It's well thought out,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of clever things that they did to make it do what it does.
Yes.
I would still never use it, though.
Correct.
Got it.
So, I don't know. Yeah, Fisher and I have had a fun time
Am I
talking about it.
closed-minded? Is that crazy? I just would never... whatever.
It's okay.
What is tent mode?
Well, so there's technically 5 modes for this, right?
Right.
Tent mode is the thing that Lenovo tried to push when the original Yoga came out. That was the first computer to, like, go around 360 degrees.
For the audio listeners, David has folded the laptop hinge backwards on itself. So now it's sort of this triangle with 2 outward-facing screens.
I'm a 10.
Yeah. So I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee. So at this point, you can just sort of do this if you don't want it to be like...
Would you ever do that?
Well, my Google Doc is on the other side.
Yeah, it's just shining a screen out. Wait, does it not turn off the other screen when it's in tent mode?
No. Which seems badly designed. I also
could play like Go Fit or Guess Who or Battleship or...
I also want... Well, no, because you can't have 2 mice doing 2 separate things.
You just have to fling that instance back and forth.
They're not both touchscreens?
They are, but it would like pull focus from your mouse. If I was like working on something, it would pull focus to the other side.
Oh.
If it could run like 2 separate mice with 2 separate instances, and you could just have 2 people working on 2 different documents on one computer, that'd be dope.
With
that would be insane.
U-series processor.
That would be insane. It would die
On the other
so
side
fast.
of the table? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you use your laptop in tent mode, please tweet at David and Mel. I
gotta see the
I want to
pictures.
see what is
Like
happening on that screen.
unironically, not just like I have
Yeah.
a laptop that can sometimes go into tent mode. I want to
Yeah.
hear from you if you actively bought a laptop because it can go into tent mode.
Yeah.
And then you do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. Exist.
Yeah. I also want to note really quickly that when I took this out of the box, everything worked. And then it had 75 Windows updates, which I'm not even joking.
Wow.
I installed all of them, and then everything broke. All of the, like, putting the keyboard... Oh, because I didn't even show you this feature yet. So if you want to, you could use it like this, and then you take the keyboard out of the thing, and if you put it at the top of the bottom screen, this becomes a trackpad.
I've seen that.
And if
So
you put
for
it in
audio listeners, David just took the keyboard, put it on the second screen, and it's like where a normal keyboard would be on a laptop.
Yeah. And if you put it on the bottom part of the second screen, you get this thing where either your calendar or your Outlook shows up here, and then a really crappy like Microsoft News thing is on the right side, and you can't change this at all.
I want to make a video on this called "This is really cool, comma I would never use it."
You want to make the video?
I kind of think that's what this is.
Yeah. We could.
I think I kind of.
We could
This
also like
is
make
every CES product's dream.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You go to CES and you see things like this, and you're like, "Oh, cool," and then you just walk away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this probably.
But
was.
Lenovo is the only company that actually ships this stuff.
Fair enough.
But it's just so crappy that you cannot replace this crummy like news widget. It's
just stays
permanently there. You can't edit this bar at all.
Man,
Yeah. It was pretty much Fisher's biggest gripe with the thing.
good for you, Lenovo. I mean, not good, but still, you're doing things. You're keeping it
things.
interesting, and I gotta give you credit for that.
Yeah. I wish I could use Arc on this, but not on Windows yet. So I'm stuck with Edge.
Yes, you are, or Chrome.
Or Chrome. Oh, yeah, anyway, I factory reset it and it finally works again.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy for you.
There's another problem, but I think we should move on.
Let's talk about YouTube for a second.
Okay.
All right. So we had this on the dock. We wanted to talk about this. I actually have no idea how they plan on doing this because they had some Stadia integration a while ago that kind of sounded like this. But the new headline is that YouTube is testing games on the platform.
Yeah.
You got games on your platform? The idea is you'd be able to play a game on YouTube.com. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, either on the website on desktop or also on iOS and Android.
Yeah.
Netflix did this last year. They launched like a games thing.
How did that go?
It's out in the US. I haven't tried a lot of them. It feels kind of like crummy mobile games.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things. Like one of my friends said that they did it one night when they didn't know what to watch, so they just played the game and it was like mildly entertaining. And then another friend said they tried it and it was like the most janky thing ever, so they just never use it again.
In my eyes, it's like the Chrome dinosaur game when your internet's out.
Just a really, really low priority background thing to do when you have nothing better to do.
It's something Netflix like wants to do to keep people on the platform so that they can serve you more ads, or, you know, maybe after you finish the game, all of the shows are right there. So you're like, I might as well watch a show. They just don't want you to leave Netflix. And I guess YouTube's doing the same thing.
So the Stadia thing from a while ago, if I'm remembering it correctly, was actually kind of cool. It was a cool idea.
The integration?
It was an integration where like there could be a YouTube video about a game where you're, let's say, playing through a specific level of a game. And if you liked the gameplay, you could actually like hit a button and it would jump you into that level of that game where you could play it yourself.
Yeah.
So the sort of Stadia was the cloud gaming thing, and then YouTube was cloud videos, and they would all talk to each other, and it would be this super cool, immersive thing. And I kind of liked that idea, but now Stadia is dead.
Yeah. It was cool because it was like there were specific integrations you could be watching back when YouTube gaming was a thing.
Yeah.
Before they closed that down.
Yep.
You could be watching someone playing a live stream of a game, and they could be trying a level over and over and over again. And if they couldn't finish the level, they could be like, do you think any of you guys could do this? And you could literally like hop into exactly where they were in the game, where their character was with the same items, like everything. That was the dream. They never released that feature. But then, you know, Stadia died.
It's crazy. Google never kills things like that. It's weird.
Oh, we never even talked about this, by the way. Speaking of Google killing things, they killed Google domains.
Google killed another thing?
They
No
killed Google
way.
domains.
That's crazy. Yeah, what's crazy about that
What?
is we just moved mkbhd.com to Google domains.
I have everything on Google
Like
domains.
a week before they nuked it.
All of my domains.
Great.
Yeah.
Great job, Google.
But yeah, so this is kind of a weird thing. Like I could see them being like, okay, well, we made Stadia. We did build out a lot of features in Stadia. So we might as well like use some of that technology in YouTube if we have an opportunity to. Whether or not they actually use any of the Stadia stuff or they just go the Netflix route and make it like really crappy mobile games, I have no idea.
I have a prediction. It's a bold prediction.
Yep.
This will be killed in a year.
Bingo!
Well, if it even comes out in a year, because currently they are, the only reason this article is posted about this is that they are asking people internally at Google to test it. So it's not public yet.
Okay.
And whether or not it even becomes public in the future, we have no idea. They could just be messing around. But I think it just got leaked that a bunch of internal Googlers were like, oh, my computer just turned off. Wait. Okay,
yeah, the headline is they're reportedly testing it.
Yeah.
So this is something sort of behind the scenes that they maybe are possibly working on.
Yeah. So
Fair.
I don't know. It's just weird to like have these streaming services and be like, we're a weird gaming service now, sort of, but it's not legit games. It's like really weird mobile games.
A couple of weird supported games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when Steam started putting mobile games on Steam, and it was just like, because there's Fallout Shelter. Do you remember that game? It was like a Fallout game, but it was not Fallout. It was like a little just mobile.
Oh, the Android version.
Yeah, but it was not even remotely Fallout. It was like a little like castle game. Anyway, yeah, just weird. Just more adding weird features to weird streaming services, which is strange.
We should like place bets on when it would come out and then how long it would take to kill it. YouTube just killed Stories like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like they're chopping things.
They are chopping things.
Speaking of chopping things, we also have on the dock TikTok plans on closing down what they initially made basically as a BeReal clone. It's called, what was it called? TikTok Now?
TikTok Now, yeah.
So BeReal, for those who are, let's say, over the age of 30.
I think TikTok Now.
Yeah, BeReal was just a real-time, it is a real-time social network where essentially once per day, everyone on the app at the same time gets a notification and has to take a picture. Mm-hmm. And it started kind of blowing up. This was post-2020. I don't know if it's associated with the pandemic at all, but it definitely blew up and had this moment where other social networks were like, oh, they had that moment that we all have on the podcast. Is this a social network or a feature?
Yeah, is this a platform or a feature?
Is a platform or a feature?
Yeah.
So for BeReal, it's their entire platform. And for TikTok, they're like, I think we could make this a feature
Yes.
of TikTok.
Yeah.
So they made their own version of it where everyone would get a notification at the same time.
Instagram has it too.
Instagram, yeah. What is theirs called?
I don't know.
It has, yeah, same
Nobody
thing.
uses it.
It's a feature.
I don't think.
I think they'll kill it too. But yeah, I think what we're all discovering is BeReal has a specific kind of like, I don't want to say cult following, but people use BeReal to use BeReal as different, as not Instagram, as not TikTok.
Yeah.
So people on TikTok don't want to use it the way they were using BeReal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not shocked that this ends up getting pulled, but BeReal is kind of crashing.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that is that BeReal launched as a way to be the sort of anti-social media curated Instagram thing, because Instagram stories, which was stolen from Snapchat stories, became, just like Instagram, became a way to kind of like only post when you're having fun, only post when you look great, you know? And so there was sort of this like especially the Gen Z is like very for this, but like not just posting a curated version of yourself, posting yourself in an everyday scenario to make people not feel like comparative against each other. So the whole BeReal thing was like, it's going to go off at a random time. You have to post it within 2 minutes. Otherwise you get like docked for it. But I think that people liked it at first, but then every single day it was just like people at their desk, people in their bed, in their car. Yeah, it was just the same content every day. And there is still a pretty dedicated community to it, but there were reports that the user base dropped 61% between October 22 and March 23. And I think that people are just getting like tired of seeing each other in mundane scenarios, because it's like, why am I even on my phone?
Yeah, that's 6 months. That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it's a pretty BeReal does dispute those numbers.
Of course.
But, who knows? And ultimately, yeah, I think it's just like a platform. And this feels just like Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, Clubhouse. Clubhouse had its rise in popularity, like very associated with the pandemic, and it was very much like, hey, we're all at home now, but what if I just jumped in a room, and it's an audio only room, so I don't have to like do my hair and makeup, so I just like show up and people are talking and we have this room of people, and it had this really big social moment. And then every other social network, almost it feels like every other social network went, wait a second, we could build that as a feature too. And one by one, they all built it as a feature. And then Clubhouse, which still exists, but doesn't really...
It's just kind of a crypto thing now.
It's sort of like a wasteland. Like, like a tumbleweed will pass by, and then you'll hear like crypto noises passing by. And you're like, it's Clubhouse. The feature exists in some other social networks, but a lot of them have killed that too.
And it's beyond social networks, right? It's in Slack now. Like Slack has rooms now.
That actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It makes it's called huddles and rooms.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Beyond just social networks, just all of these applications were like, wouldn't it make sense just to have an audio room? And it was a reaction to the pandemic because people were saying they missed the like random coffee or like a water cooler conversation.
Yeah.
So it became a space where you could just drop in and sort of just like talk to people. And it was really popular during the pandemic because people are isolated. I also have this really depressing story about Clubhouse that I want to just say really quickly.
Okay.
So right when it was getting popular, I didn't really know what it was. So I downloaded it. I was like in my apartment with Michael. We were just sitting in the living room. I go into it. And there's a room called Quiet Room. And there were like thousands of people in it. And I was like, oh. So I dropped into the room and everyone was on mute. And I was like, man, this is so cool.
Really strange.
It's like weird. It's like a weird human experience thing where everyone's alone and everyone's lonely. But because you're in this silent room, this quiet room, you know that there's all these other people that are having the exact same experience as you. And that's like heartwarming in a way. And then I found out I was completely wrong, and it was just a follow for follow thing. It was like you go in the room and follow every single user, and then every other user follows you.
Oh, you had this like wholesome like unity moment, and then you're like, oh no, this is just F for F.
Because I looked it up and I was like, this is so cool. And I looked it up like quiet rooms on Clubhouse, and there were all these articles. They're like follow for follow quiet rooms, and I was like, oh my god.
I like how follow for follow is like a forever thing in the internet.
Yeah,
that'll always be a thing.
It's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know why TikTok is closing it down. Like I don't know.
It was just like never caught on. The same reason YouTube's killing stories.
It still seems weird to close down features that already exists that you don't really have to like maintain that much.
I think it's just like code bloat.
Yeah.
It's just like bloat on this platform that they don't. If they want to focus on their core thing, they might as well just remove the distraction.
I can see YouTube closing stories because I got a random YouTube story in my feed last week, but only one channel that I'm subscribed to ever posts stories. And so it's just weird having like one and then a bunch of white space. And I think that's why YouTube closed that
Better to have
down.
zero.
For sure.
Yeah.
The TikTok thing, I don't even have TikTok, so I don't even know what it looked like before. But
I never even saw this feature.
oh well.
Literally never even saw it.
There you go.
That's
probably
hilarious.
why they're closing it down. But
Well, we got a bunch more to talk about. We should take a break. But of course, that means we should do our first trivia question.
yeah.
Trivia. Okay. Trivia, dude. Yeah. So, first question. Twitch is obviously wildly popular for gaming streamers, which YouTube responded to by launching YouTube Gaming.
Yeah.
It was launched in 2015. When was it discontinued and just made part of the YouTube app?
Oh, man. Yeah, they had a separate app.
Yeah.
There was a separate YouTube gaming app.
Yeah.
Briefly. For less than a year, I think. I mean, I don't know how long.
That was...
You'll get 1 point for the year, 2 points if you get the month as well.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That'll be a shot in the dark, but I'm going to try.
I bet Andrew gets it when I ask him later.
He might know. He might know.
You might know.
I mean, I could tell you that it died. I couldn't tell you when, but I'm going to try.
I remember reading the news article about it coming out and downloading it immediately when I read the article.
I
And you
remember,
never used it again.
I remember seeing that it was a separate app, and I went, not going to use that.
Doomed.
Yeah. I was working a really boring data entry job, so it was the most exciting part of my day. That's
Talk
why
about
I slugged.
Intel like that.
That wasn't Intel. That was the worst company, if there could possibly be one. Anyway.
Well, we're going to do the answers at the end, so we'll be right back.
All right, we're back. Last week was a shockingly busy week for devices. Not just last week, but like this time of year is usually quiet. Yeah. Weirdly, it's really busy.
Summer.
Yeah, we had to review all the new Apple stuff, and then last week we had 2 new Pixel products, the Pixel Fold and the tablet, and just yesterday, hopefully maybe, we published the ZenFone 10 review.
Yeah, we definitely didn't.
Never mind.
Didn't. But
should I redo
thoughts. Well, no, I have thoughts on it. Well, that review may be later, but hey, the pod people get a little bonus because it'll be earlier on the pod.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So
what do you want to do first?
Yeah. So what do you want to do first? I mean,
I guess the Pixel tablet we can do first. That's a simple one. The Pixel tablet. The review is out. It's about what we thought. You know, no real dramatic surprises here. It's an Android tablet. It's a $499 tablet that comes with the dock in the box. And the dock is like this magnetic speaker dock, which has pins, and you just pop it on there, and it becomes like a home hub. You pop it off, and it's a tablet. Cool. My main discovery when actually using it for a while was the speaker dock is not that great.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like the speakers themselves on the tablet are
really
completely lacking any bass.
Yeah.
They're very tinny. So when you pop it onto the tablet dock, it actually sounds much better because you get like all this bass because it's a much larger driver. But it doesn't actually get that much louder. And so when I compare it to like the $229, obviously it's pricey for a home speaker, but it's cheaper than the tablet. When I compare it to that Nest Hub Max speaker, the Nest Hub Max is much louder and has better mics from far away and can be a security camera, which the tablet can't, and is on 24/7, but you can't pop it off and use it as a tablet. So, you know, it kind of exists at the top of the home hub lineup, but at the bottom of the tablet lineup. I'm curious if you have thoughts on it, but I thought it was all right.
I think the Nest Hub Max has better audio though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
oh,
like a lot better speakers.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're really paying like almost, actually more than double to have the tablet.
For the ability to pop it off and use it as a tablet anywhere.
Yeah, that's sort of the weird sort of thing with this product is that if you remove the separate, like you can buy another speaker dock separately for $130. If you removed the whole speaker dock thing from it and you were like, oh, this is a $270 pretty good Pixel tablet, you'd be like,
solid.
This is a really good price for an Android tablet. It's running a Tensor chip. It's like pretty good, like very good price for a tablet. But in my head, and I think this is how Google is marketing this thing, it is I guess they're marketing it as the Pixel tablet, But I see it as a home hub that you normally use as a home hub, that every now and then you're like, I want to watch Netflix on the couch. Every now and then you're like, I need to move the ingredients for this recipe over to the other side of the kitchen. So you move it over there. And I don't think Google really wants you to take it on the road that often. They just sort of like added a USB-C port so that if you did, that you technically could.
Do you think they should have done it the other way around? Like right now, the only way you can buy this tablet is as a $500 bundle with the dock. Do you think they should have sold it as a $300 tablet without the dock? I think that I would find that easier to recommend.
I think the dock being $130 is ridiculously expensive, especially considering the speakers aren't good. If the speakers were... Okay, and here was another thing too. There's a story that went out that said Google removed the Wi-Fi chip in the dock. They originally were going to put its own chip in the dock so that it could be a separate smart speaker, which makes a lot of sense. If you,
been nice.
Because you can buy these separately, right? So if you could have these just like... They're basically home speakers just sitting around your house. And even if you didn't have a Pixel tablet on it, you could be playing music from it. You could be using them as assistants. $130 for a smart audio speaker is about what a smart audio speaker of that quality costs. You know, like a Nest Audio is like what? Like $100?
Not even.
Yeah, I think they're like $100. They have good audio. So if you could basically buy a Nest Audio that you could also pop a tablet onto to charge and use as an interface.
Talking about the little one or this one?
The Nest Audio, that one, yeah. How much is it? $100?
$100. Yeah.
For $130, like that's okay. But the fact that it's $130 for a thing that is a brick.
It's a brick when there's no tablet.
When there's no tablet on it.
Yep.
It's
that's
like,
tough.
Why would you buy extra of these? Like, you're just going to have things plugged in that do literally nothing unless you figure that, oh, maybe I'll move the tablet over.
Here's some other context. For the same money, you could buy a Nest Hub for one room and a Nest Hub Max for another room and still have money left over.
Yeah.
Because the Nest Hub is $100 and the Nest Hub Max is $230. So that's $330.
Better audio on the Max.
Matter of fact, toss in another Nest Hub. That's $330. You're still under
wow,
$430. So you have a Nest Hub in the bedroom, a Nest Hub in the living room, and a Nest Hub Max in the kitchen.
Or you could put a Nest Audio somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you still spent less than this tablet with the one dock.
That's crazy.
So it's like, it feels like because it's a tablet, it's a really good price.
Yeah.
But it is very interestingly placed.
Yeah, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So you know how sometimes like people will release a product and they can charge whatever they want because it's like the only thing of that product. Is this one of those moments where because there's nothing that's a one-to-one, it's the same?
I don't
Google
think
could
that,
just charge whatever they wanted for
I don't
it?
think that people want Android tablets badly enough that they can charge whatever they want for this.
You know, the only thing that could convince me, yes, is there was that moment on stage at Google I.O. where they sort of teased it at first, and they showed the tablet, and they showed it clicking onto the dock, and everyone went, oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Including Andrew.
Yeah,
and me.
And it is the only one that does exactly that. And so if you do picture yourself using that particular feature a lot, then there is no comparison.
Yeah.
This is the only one you can get.
So then follow-up question, how long does that remain true? How long before Lenovo makes one?
Lenovo
How long before
has
Apple
already
does one?
been making this kind of thing. It's not
but
exactly
one that just
the same.
pops off like off of a speaker?
Yes.
Interesting.
They made one like years ago in 2018.
Google's is like, okay, you use the Google Home app and you use all Google services, so you get the Google one.
Yeah.
That makes like the most sense. Yeah. I mean, as of right now, the way my tablet lives in my house is it's on a folio case. It's in a folio case all the time, and it's just like
plugged in
propped
permanently.
Up. It's not even plugged in. It just like wanders around the kitchen and eventually gets plugged in when it's about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost the same thing.
Yeah.
And the speakers are loud enough that it's actually the same thing.
Yeah. So it's just weird because they marketed it as Pixel tablet, but that's not in my head what this product is. It's a Nest Hub large
Ultra.
with worse audio that can also
Nest
become
Hub
a tablet.
Go.
Yeah.
Nest Hub
they
Go.
should have called it Nest Hub tablet.
Nest Hub
Nest
Ultra
Hub Tab
Go.
or Nest Hub Tab.
Nest Hub Tab Go Ultra. Tablet.
If it had better specs, you could call it Ultra. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just because it's the biggest screen.
Yeah, but it's 60 hertz. It's the display's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitively fine. Bad off-axis viewing angles, but whatever.
There was a little bit of questions for me, and this can kind of bring us into the Pixel Fold of the tablet app experience.
Yeah.
Because this has been a thing we've talked about every single time there's a Pixel. Any Android tablet at all is, are the apps going to be better?
Yeah.
And there's always like a small handful of apps where you're really impressed, and then the rest of the apps you're like, no, it's not better at all. And things like, Instagram and Twitter aren't exactly great on the iPad either, but you can keep going down the list, and like YouTube Studio is not optimized on the tablet.
Yeah.
A lot of my mobile apps that are on the inside screen of the Pixel Fold, like my golf app is not optimized. It's just a lot of apps still aren't great on the tablet.
Yeah.
So that's still a thing. The new weather app is awesome.
Yeah.
Google made a weather app.
They did make a brand new weather
solid.
app. Yeah.
I'll give them that. But I think
they made that specifically for you.
I always talk about weather apps, so maybe they're listening. But we can talk about the Pixel Fold, because this has been in my pocket for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And the review of it is also out. And it's a weird phone that I kind of actually like a lot, but I realize I won't be recommending to most people. Also, fun fact, I played a beach tournament over this past weekend. And this phone was in my bag at the beach for 3 straight days.
In a
and
Ziploc.
It somehow hasn't died. I actually didn't put it in a Ziploc or anything.
Yeah.
I know there's got to be some sand in here,
So-
and it's like a ticking time bomb.
Ron Amadeo over at Ars Technica.
died.
Yeah, he literally only used this on his desk. He hadn't even moved it from his desk while he was writing about
How
it.
is mine
You
not
should have
died?
taken it to the beach.
I literally went to a beach for 3 days.
Yeah, he might have just gotten super unlucky. He gets unlucky very frequently with a lot of devices.
I feel like it does, yeah.
But so the thing about this phone is that it folds completely flat. Mm-hmm. And can I see it really quickly?
Yeah.
So when you open it, there's not really much space between the bezel and the screen. It's just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought the thing is that it doesn't fold completely flat.
It does fold completely flat.
You
It,
mean
it doesn't open completely flat.
Yeah, it doesn't quite open.
It opens to
completely
like 177 degrees.
flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So closed, it is a flat sandwich with no air gap.
Yeah.
Oh,
is
I
nice.
see. Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice, and I do really like that. I think the problem is they have this like screen protector that
You can
doesn't
see the edges. of it.
doesn't completely go to the bottom.
Yeah.
Which very much feels like a Galaxy
gen?
Fold Gen 1
remind you of anyone? Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they had to add these before they sent out production units while they were like they had them in reviewers' hands. They didn't have these like caps in the top and bottom that kept dirt and debris from getting in. And the Fold, it's just raw OLED underneath the screen protector. And raw OLED is very dangerous. And so I guess Ron had like a piece of dirt or dust that got onto the little bezel part that is raw OLED.
Mm-hmm.
And because when he closed it, because there's like almost no space between the bezel and the actual screen,
You're just clapping sand in there.
directly into raw OLED on his
Yeah.
desk too, right? Like,
Man. Does
So-
he just have a desk just covered in sand? And
Yeah.
he's just like, I only use it on my desk, but
don't
hey,
know.
there's a lot of sand here.
I would say if you do buy this thing, you should definitely get the like pixel protection for it.
Yeah.
Because
Here's what I'll say. Clearly, Google was very protective. It seems like they sent out a lot less of these phones for
Yeah.
review. Like they are being very cautious with it. I felt like I was reasonably normal with mine. Like I have some nicks on the top. I have some nicks on the bottom. I took it to a beach.
yeah, the camera area looks kind of scarred up a little bit.
It's a little scarred up. Yeah, I really used it.
Yeah.
And my conclusion at the end of the day was this is the best folding phone to use while closed.
Yeah.
I use this phone closed all the time like normal. And I really only open it once in a while when I go, you know what? I've got 15 new emails and I've got some time to burn. Let's
Yeah.
get into it. And then I would open the phone and I feel like a productivity monster. And I would do that for a while and I close it and use like a normal phone again.
Yeah.
It's the best at that.
Yeah.
That's like really what this phone is most awesome at. My least favorite thing about this phone is you cannot have a different layout on
Yeah.
your home screen on the inside and the outside screens.
Yeah, yeah.
So just for our listeners who are a little confused about what I mean, every other folding phone,
Yeah.
the outside home screen is one setup, is one phone. And then the inside, when you open it up to your inside screen, you can set up a completely different phone. You can have a different wallpaper. You can have a different set of apps and widgets. So on your outside screen, maybe it's a little cramped. You might have, your texting app, maybe your Google Maps, a couple things you access really quickly just on one home screen. But then you open up on the inside.
Whoa.
But then you open it up on the inside.
It's hard to open, guys.
It is hard to open. And you end up with a whole bunch more space. So you do like 2 or 3 widgets and your games and your apps that you use all the time.
Yeah.
On this one, whatever you do on the inside screen will immediately be reflected on the outside screen.
Yeah.
If you have 3 home screens on the outside screen, when you open it up, you'll have the exact same 3 on the inside screen, and you can't have them different.
I will say that I like that if you're using an app on the outside screen and you open the phone, it's immediately in that app.
I like that.
But I think that Google did some like tweaks to Android for large screen devices and folding devices to make it so that when you have it open, it kind of sees it as like 2 displays, right? Because you can't, when you have it open on the inside screen, it kind of like artificially sets like if
the
you
home screen.
Yeah, if you had the home screen on your on the phone folded, and you swiped to your second display, that second display is the right side of the inner screen.
Yeah. So screen 1 on the left, screen 2 on the right.
And the only thing that
Screen
spans is the Google like search bar.
Yep. Actually, weirdly, that's the only thing. Like you can't
place widgets in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And I think they did that. This was the biggest problem with the Microsoft Surface Duo, by the way, is that the Microsoft Surface Duo didn't see itself like that. So when you had it open, it thought it was just one big display.
Yeah.
So when you would span apps, it wouldn't split them. It would just like have missing text in the center.
You could have missing pixels.
Yeah. So I think they intentionally did it. So they were like, okay, this is screen 1, this is virtual screen 2. And when you have it open, let's just blend them. But again, like you said, like the problem with that is that you can't like have different setups and like different orientations of screens. You would have a different type of setup.
Yeah. It just feels a little weird that would, like it's an Android phone. I feel like if there was a folding iPhone, of course they would do that.
Yeah.
I figured the Google one would let me change.
Yeah,
So
there should
that
be
was
at least
interesting.
be a setting for it. And that's something they
let me
could
check the
probably
box.
update. Yeah, they could probably update that. Yeah. It is, I will say the form factor of using it closed is amazing.
Yep.
It's more Find N2-esque, which please, Oppo, please, for the love of God, make a global version of that phone because the bands in the
I like
US don't
this one
support
better
it.
than the Oppo.
You like it better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need to
It's
try
really
it.
smooth. Tensor G. It's smoother on this phone than any other
That's
Tensor G2
crazy.
phone. I did think that was weird.
That is weird.
It's the smoothest 120 hertz Google Pixel phone ever.
Do you like it better than the Fold?
Than the
Galaxy
The
Fold?
Galaxy Fold, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I hate the form factor of the Galaxy
and that's
Fold.
because the Fold is kind of
Too
still
narrow.
awkward to use while closed.
Too narrow.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Yeah. I mean, the hardware is really good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's $1,800.
Yeah.
So is Samsung's.
That's true.
But Samsung has a better inside screen, has
Yeah.
thinner bezels,
Yeah.
which does mean you need a weird hole punch or
Right, under display.
selfie
Well, but they
camera.
had thin bezels before they added the under display selfie camera.
Also true.
So-
They could have done a hole punch. But Samsung has better inside display. Samsung has bigger battery and better battery life and
Yeah.
faster charging. And the cameras are about on par.
Does it have a better software experience? Would you say?
No,
Pixel
Google's-
is
no.
better.
The Pixel's got the
experience.
software for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of tit for tat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30-watt charging, right?
30-watt max.
But it has wireless charging.
Pretty poor battery life.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I've read other reviews that didn't mention their battery life was as bad as mine, but I've continued to use this phone and continued to have subpar battery life.
Yeah, I read Allison's review on The Verge, and she said that the benefit of using it closed all the time, which she also said you feel like you can use it closed all the time,
Yep.
is that you'll get a little bit better battery life. But she didn't really seem to go into detail about the overall battery life.
So that logic tracks perfectly. From my experience, I am using mostly the outside screen.
Yeah.
And my battery life is subpar. Therefore, if I use the inside screen more, I would have even worse battery life.
Yeah.
That's my angle.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Tough.
Yeah. Anyway, for you Pixel Fold people out there, you should be the first wave of people should be receiving them today,
Soon,
which
yeah.
is Wednesday.
Yeah.
So let us know. Tweet at us about your experience. We'd love to know more people's experience about this thing.
I like the phone.
Second gen one, hopefully, will be amazing.
Android 14 update coming soon as well.
Yes.
Let's talk about the ZenFone 10 real quick before
Yes.
another break. I do have some thoughts. I mean, so the ZenFone 9 last year,
Amazing.
I love this phone.
Epic.
This phone, I gave it some awards. I'm pretty sure I gave
Best
it the
small
best
phone.
small phone. and maybe the most improved, maybe something else.
Yeah, probably most improved.
I really liked it. Awesome software experience. Super smooth, 120 hertz. They put the latest Snapdragon chip. It had amazing battery life and very impressive cameras.
Yes.
Like across the board, it was small. It had a fast fingerprint reader.
And it was $699.
And it was a really well-priced phone.
And it was the most recent. It was the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus.
Right, which means it had the best battery
TSMC,
life.
so really good battery life. Yeah.
And after that phone came out, I was like, yeah, they basically made the perfect phone. It doesn't have wireless charging, but like, I don't know. The only thing really bad about it is that back coating got so
really gross.
Worn so fast.
Yeah.
So then when I got the email about a ZenFone 10 coming out this year, I was like, oh, right, I forgot about that. What are they going to do with this phone this year? And it showed up, and I like put it on a wireless charger jokingly. Like, I bet they didn't add wireless charging. And it lit up and it started charging, and I was like, oh, whoa, wait a second.
I remember this moment.
They did the
I
thing.
saw this happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And they did also change the coating on the back of the phone. Now, I haven't been able to daily it as much yet because I've been doing the Pixel Fold review, so I'm about to switch to it, and we'll see how much it starts to wear. But I suspect they changed it to make it better
More resilient.
and hopefully not wear as fast. Which, if that's true, they did everything.
Yeah, they basically made and it's like, is this one also $699?
It is. I got to double check, but I don't think. Yeah, it's the same price as last year.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how they pulled this off.
I love it.
It's basically like the iPhone Mini for Android users. It's got like the max specs. But it's got better battery life than the iPhone Mini by far.
Dramatically better. Battery life.
Yeah. It's like
so good.
Yeah. I don't know. If you only buy your phones at carrier stores, you can't get this, I don't think. So like buy it online, but I think B&H sells this phone. But Asus is pretty underrated. I think their camera experience is really good because they don't lean super hard into computational photography. So they have more contrast than a lot of manufacturers because they don't go super hard on the HDR.
Yeah, they keep it simple.
I think that's a good look. And they generally score very high in the blind smartphone camera test.
This is true. Whenever we do the blind tests, it kind of has a pixely look in a way, and I think people don't really expect that. And it's actually kind of confirmed to be an Asus thing because the ROG gaming phones also perform kind of well, which are like, it's a gaming phone. Who would ever think it's good? But hey, Asus is getting really good hardware or software. I will say one more thing. What was I going to say?
They came out with new colors.
Oh yeah, there's a nice.
There's a nice green. There's a nice blue. There's the orange from last year. There's a white and there's a black.
And the red is like brighter.
Yeah, the orange red.
It's
like,
more
red. I guess you're right.
Yeah,
it's more red.
Yeah, I'd say red.
Yeah, it's brighter. Yeah.
What was I going to say?
While Marques is struggling, I'll just say, last year when the ZenFone 9 came to our office, we're all seasoned vets here. We see a lot of phones, so it takes a lot to impress us. But I remember when the ZenFone 9 showed up, it was one of those things where Marques took it out of the box and like the whole studio was swarmed him. Like, ooh, what's that? Oh, that looks new. That's different. Oh, I like the way this feels.
I've always loved the ZenFones because they made the first phone. I think the ZenFone 7 or maybe it was the 6, I think. It had the flippy camera.
Yeah.
It had this camera that like it was facing the back, but then if you pressed the button, it would flip around. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never remembered what I was going to say, so hopefully it'll hit me again later.
I remember that at lunch.
Yeah, but the ZenFone 10, I'm very happy that they did the things that they should do.
$699 is legit insane pricing. It's so.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Let's go.
So if I was to like make my own phone, Asus did something that I think I would also do, which is in the setup process when you first get the phone, you go through like sign into your email, sign up Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you literally have a menu where it's like, do you want pure stock Android or do you want our like Asus optimized
Zen UI
version?
Yeah.
And you get to I don't think they even call it that anymore. It's just like Asus optimized.
Oh.
And it has a couple new fonts, a couple new icons, a couple extra features, and you can just choose. You go through like 4 or 5 panels where it's like home screen setup. What do you want, stock or Asus?
Yeah.
All right, launcher. What do you want, stock or Asus?
That's cool.
And the whole thing, and quick settings. What do you want? And so you go through and you set up the phone, And so right out the box, you're already
That's awesome.
customizing it like a true Android phone should be. It's great.
They did that because I think when the ROG Phone 3 came out, I remember people were not super happy with the insanely hardcore gaming UI that the ROG Phone had in the 1 and the 2. So when the 3 came out, I remember they made it a big deal. They were like, we're letting you use stock Android on this if you want. So you get the gaming prowess and all the features of the gaming phone, but you don't have to use the ROG Vault with all the hardcore
gaming mode. Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, and then they ported that to the ZenFone on the ZenFone 6 or something, and everyone was like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, they're still doing it. And it's broken down into sections of the phone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way, so that's cool.
Shout out to Asus.
Shout out to Asus.
I'll test the ZenFone 10. I hope there's no surprises where it's it turns out the battery life is trash now. I hope there's nothing like that, but I have a pretty hard time believing I'm going to find anything like that.
Yeah, it was great battery life last year, especially for a tiny phone. So
that's that.
Cool.
Let's take another quick break, but we should, of course, do one more trivia question. This is new light colors from last
No, this is the same as last week.
Okay.
I think.
trivia.
Maybe
Pink trivia.
Yeah,
Pink trivia.
I like it. Sparkly. It's fun.
Magenta.
Yeah. Anyway, fun fact, guys. WWDC wasn't always called WWDC.
Really?
The first one in 1983 was called A, Macintosh Developers World Gathering, the MDWG. B, the Apple Independent Software Developers Conference, or AISDC. C, the Santa Clara Developers Symposium, SCDS. Or D, the Global Electronic Information Coders Open House, or the GEICO.
Geico.
The Geico.
Geico.
I want it to be that one. It can't be, but I want it to be.
That would be so funny.
Could it?
Oh, man.
It could be. I don't know. LS questions are often
Alice questions
tricky.
are the one that leave you staring at your bedroom ceiling at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I was going to say Macworld. All right.
Cool. Well, with that,
We shall take a break. Be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about EVs. Welcome to the Waveform podcast.
EV form.
The EV section.
Yes.
There's really only one piece of news that matters in the EV world in the past couple of weeks because it's been happening over and over and over again.
Every day.
As dominoes continue to fall and hit each other and knock over other dominoes, and more dominoes will continue to fall in the future. Probably by the time we record this and this comes out, there will be another
more.
domino.
Definitely.
But the news is there are two basically competing charging standards in North America for electric cars. There is Tesla's port, which you've all seen on Teslas. It's called NACS, North American Charging Standard. And then there's the other one, CCS. I mean, there's some others that you've probably seen in some other cars, but CCS is the other big one for fast charging. And that's the one that you see for public charging and every other EV that's not a Tesla. And we've talked at length about this and how there is a big difference between the quality and availability and uptime and reliability and ease of use of the Tesla supercharger network and every other public charger network. So the news is all these EV manufacturers are slowly actually pulling the trigger on signing a deal to have their cars use Tesla's supercharger network.
Yeah.
And that includes them starting to ship cars with Tesla's NACS port in 2025.
Amazing.
And giving them access to thousands and thousands of superchargers. Not just the 7 that we have with the Magic Dock, but actual native, hopefully maximum fast charging.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal. So that started, I guess, maybe it was last week, with Ford signing a deal.
Yeah.
They did this whole event on, I guess it was a Twitter Space.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
I think shortly thereafter, GM announces that they're also going to do it. So when Ford does it, you're like, wow, F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E just got better. Then GM does it, and you're like, oh, wow. So now the Hummer EV is in there, too. The Cadillac Lyriq, whatever other
Still
GM
not
stuff is under
as
there.
many cars as
Not a ton, but
there
hey,
are.
that's two big companies that are actually going to do this. That's cool. And then more dominoes fall and more dominoes fall. So now what do we have?
We got Rivian.
We got Rivian saying they'll move over. R1T and R1S.
Yeah, and then
I
R2.
believe R2, when that platform launches, that's going straight to NACS.
Oh, yeah.
Straight to Tesla's port. So that's cool.
You got Volvo.
Volvo's moving over, and Volvo owns Polestar. So that means Polestars are going to be moving over to Tesla NACS.
They haven't said it yet, but I'm sure they will.
Logically, it checks out.
Yeah.
Word on the street is Hyundai is thinking about it.
Yeah,
probably
they've been
talks,
evaluating.
Which I wouldn't be shocked if that domino fell, and that also meant Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, all of the EV6s, all of those all fall, and those all get better in 2025. Like, that is a lot of shakeup in the world of North American EV plug charging standards.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's a couple funny things about this. One, it's just funny that, of course, Tesla called it North American Charging Standard when it was literally just their
They were
port.
forecasting.
CCS stands for Combined Charging System. So it's funny that it's becoming the standard. Another funny thing, they just started rolling out the Magic Docks, which allows NACS to port over to CCS, and that's going to be potentially irrelevant if every single car starts using Teslas.
It's good for everyone who's already bought an electric car with CCS.
Yeah, totally.
The Rivian I have now, all the other cars that are out now, those will be fine to use on a couple of chargers on Tesla's network. Cool.
The other funny thing is that Teslas in Europe have to legally use CCS.
They all use CCS. This is why I always preface this by saying this is a very North American thing we're talking about, because in Europe it's like, we've all already had the same port on all the cars
for a long time. Yeah. So there was a video by, who's that guy that makes 2-hour videos on blenders?
Technology Connections.
Yeah,
my favorite channel.
Yeah, he made a video because his friend bought an Ioniq 5, and he was like, this is an opportunity for me to make 3 2-hour videos about electric cars.
Okay.
So he made a video about NACS versus CCS kind of, and all the technology behind it. And you just see the size of the cabling and the ports and everything. And it's just hilarious how much smaller and more efficient Tesla is able to be.
It really is.
So that port is just way better. So I feel if people people moving over to it is both going to be we did our road trip, right? And I had a terrible experience in the Mustang Mach-E because of the ecosystem of chargers.
Yep.
And now it's if you can basically buy any electric car you want. The biggest reason that it felt bad to recommend anything but a Tesla was if you drive more than 250 miles on any given day, you're going to have a bad time.
Any road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I made that video on the Autofocus channel about how electric cars are really hard to recommend, not because the cars aren't good. The cars have gotten really good to the point where many could argue Tesla doesn't make the best electric cars, but they are by far the best selling because the infrastructure and availability of these easy to use chargers is so dramatically better for them. And so, this news is a win for everyone, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a win, obviously, for Tesla because not only are they going to get a bunch of licensing money, but I believe they get a bunch of government money because now they're eligible because, hey, we make chargers for everyone. So that's huge for Tesla. It's huge for all of us because if we are going to buy an EV, we want better charging infrastructure, and we all just got it. And all the car companies who make EVs, who to themselves are saying, we make a better car than Tesla.
Yeah.
But the only reason they don't buy ours is because Tesla has a charging network.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now we have a lot of the charging network available to us. So maybe they'll buy more of our good cars.
Yeah.
So it's great too. I mean, we'll probably see some sort of a down the line effect of how many overcrowded chargers are there going to be? How many people are going to sign up and not be able to actually charge on them? Who knows? But I just feel like it's a win at the surface.
Yeah, so some good news too is that ChargePoint, EverCharge, and SK Signet, there may be even more, but they're these third-party chargers. Brandon and I, when we were doing the CV road trip with the Mach-E, we probably stopped at 7 different brands of third-party car chargers on the road, which was crazy. The amount of third parties that there are that do electric car charging is crazy. Yeah. None of them care about uptime, it seems like. Maybe they will now. But a bunch of them are starting to also say either we're fully switching over to NACS now, or we're also going to offer NACS.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. So you're going to have third parties too, which is good because if you have 1 million cars but only 100 gas stations, that's a big problem. It's Tesla's supercharger network is the biggest in the nation by far, but you already have problems with there being too many Teslas and not enough stalls.
And now there's about to be F-150 Lightnings and whatever else is out there, all different sizes and types of vehicles, which was already a question mark with the Magic Dock. But yeah, that remains a thing to be solved in the future. A question that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it for sure.
And Washington and Texas are now, if they give you funding for EV infrastructure, you have to offer NACS now. They just made that a law.
Nice.
So
that's like, it's like the USB-C iPhone rule.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you didn't have to mandate the port, but all right, I guess that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what this all reminds me of? There's been more and more Cybertruck sightings. Mm-hmm. I think it's actually coming out this year. Is that an insane take? I think it's actually coming out. You want to bet? I think we should. I think we should make a bet.
Go?
You want to bet
Let's
right
bet
now?
right now on the podcast. It is not coming out this year.
Okay, this is a great bet because we're like halfway through the year. We got 6 months.
Yeah,
I've just noticed like them. Obviously, they've been working on it, testing it, whatever. But suddenly, there's like dozens of them. There's like mules. There's camouflage ones. They're testing like finished ones, and well, not finished, but dramatically different from what they showed us. Because I remember when I was at the Impressions event, however many years ago that was.
That was like 2019?
Yeah, it was at least 2-3 years ago. And wow, that was 4 years ago. I rode in one. It was very different. The front was just like a marble shelf that looked ridiculous. It was a 3-seater in the front and the back. It was a very different looking interior. And the ones that are rolling around now have a real side view mirror, have a real windshield wiper, have different looking lights, have, I believe, removed some of the features like the deck lid that goes all the way to the bottom when you open the trunk. So I don't know all of the details, but it's just a very different looking truck that clearly they've done work on, and now they're sort of testing it. And just with enough frequency, I feel like it's ramping up at the same rate where, I don't know, I feel like they could probably ship them in like 6 months.
I would bet against that.
Okay,
All right,
so your answer is no.
Yeah.
So the bet is, just so we can codify it,
Yeah.
will the first Cybertruck deliveries to real customers happen before or after December 31st, 2023?
I also want to clarify, what are we qualifying as deliveries? Is it like 1 or 3? Or like 1,000?
Remember what they did with Plaid?
Yes.
Where they had a delivery event and the first 25 cars
That's
went
exactly
out.
what I mean. Like, if it does that count? If they do that?
If those people are not Tesla employees, that counts.
So if they release 25 of these, it counts.
Yes, because they're going to keep shipping them more the next year. I think that counts. But especially if they have like a delivery event in November and then they start shipping them in December and there's like real Cybertrucks on the road.
That to me would count.
That
I
would
think
count.
that counts.
Yeah.
How much did they say this was originally going to start at? 40?
Yeah, well, back in the day when they
won't.
made their promises, I think it was like anywhere from 35, 40 to like 75, 85, something crazy. There's a huge, because there's a single motor, dual motor, triple motor versions. There was different battery sizes. There's all kinds of things that they promised.
They said it starts at 39,900, so 40.
39.
My additional prediction is that will not happen.
Oh, no, yeah. They're going to start with the most expensive triple motor variant, for sure.
No, but I don't think it will ever sell for 40.
Yeah, that's also probably a good bet.
Yeah. I think they're going to pull a Rivian and jack up the price by 20 grand.
I mean, this
at
happened with
least.
the Model 3, right? They promised that they're going to make several different versions, and they start with the most expensive, highest margin version and work their way down. And whether they get to the bottom or not, who knows?
But the price of the Model 3 has fluctuated like in real time, like depending on the week. But I feel like the Cybertruck will never, they'll just be like, we had to jack the price by 20 grand, like Rivian did. Like that's exactly what Rivian did.
20 grand? The cheapest one would be.
I think the cheapest one of this is going to be like 55 or 60.
Yeah, I could say 50.
Yeah, I agree.
They said they could make it cheaper because it's like a solid piece of metal that they don't have to sculpt and whatever, and that's why it's all jagged. But I don't think it's going to make it cheaper. They added like 7 years of development with this thing that they have to make up the R&D costs for.
Spent a lot. They also do have an absurd number of pre-orders, though. I don't know how many people are actually going to follow through with them. It was like $100 to get in line or something like that. So
it still is. You can order right now. I just looked.
A lot of people are in line.
Okay, so if 25 of these come out this year, that counts.
Should we set a number? Is 25 a fair?
I think 25 is a fair
25
number.
is a fair
25
number.
is
Okay.
I'm still saying no. You're saying yes.
I'm saying they will.
David,
I'm saying no.
Ellis.
Absolutely not.
Marquez
Yes,
stands
Look
alone.
at me, an optimist.
In the middle of the
Have you
field.
seen that Tom Scott video where he goes to the building in Texas and it's like a scam, like the building,
The empty.
like the blueprints he submitted, they were like inches instead of feet. So what was supposed to be like a 90-story building is a 3-story building.
No,
What?
but that's
That's the gist of it. It's like this weird looking skyscraper. The guy submitted plans to a developer and just did the one tick instead of 2 ticks for inches instead of feet, and then built this tiny building for way overpriced and dipped town with the rest of the money. That's what the Cybertruck is going to be. Elon's going to hand out a bunch of Matchbox Hot Wheels sized cars and be like,
Wait, why don't we think it? Well, we are seeing a lot of them now.
Yeah, we
Like,
see. Yeah, there's
in the
one that went
world
through
of-
In and Out.
Yeah, in the world of like auto blogs and like spy shots, there's like a really high level of like there's a bunch of spy shots of the new Porsche 911, which people suggest that they're going to make a hybrid 911 as their next flagship sports car. And there's been like a handful of them spotted at the Nürburgring. And all the articles I'm reading are like, yeah, this is going to launch in 2023. I'm like, what? Okay, that seems like a really fast turnaround, which is like they're testing a spy kitted camouflage version of it now. And by the time they ship it in 3-4 months, they'll be finished testing it. It'll be good to go. And that seems to have a super high degree of confidence. Why isn't Cybertruck getting that?
Because it's Tesla. I don't think
Yeah,
that they're gonna.
I agree.
If they're gonna build up the hype even more. I don't
Elon
think even if
says-
it's ready, they're not gonna release it.
You think this is
year.
more of a marketing
Yes,
play?
and I
Interesting.
think
I
it'll
think
be
so,
ready
too.
to go maybe early next year if that's the case. But I don't think they're gonna be like, we got it. Okay, good, ship it.
It might even be an opportunity for like people to pre-order more, like Elon to be like, yeah, just like they're like, oh, if we just put them in the wild, people will think maybe it's actually going to come out soon, and so people get back on and pre-order so they can lock in their pricing or whatever. Yeah,
That's a good angle. I like that possibility. It's definitely like, I don't think we saw this much public testing with any previous Tesla because Model 3 was kind of a surprise development and Model S gets a refresh once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
So it's like this is a unique instance where they could totally just use it for marketing.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
So
We'll see.
between that and the Roadster,
Roadster, I've just given up hope.
I think they just never started developing that again.
I'm not going to say never. I think there's a drawing on a meeting room whiteboard somewhere, and I think that counts as development.
Okay.
That's about it.
I think
Franz,
we'll
feel
see.
free to prove me wrong, bro.
We'll see the little quad that they drove into the Cybertruck before we see the Roadster.
There's like that is a hot take. That is a hot
The
take.
Cyber Quad or whatever.
Cyber
it's
Quad
called.
definitely doesn't come out.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good bet.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's like I think this whole NACS thing insanely good for Tesla because they basically get to become the gas station. Like it's a very smart play to have the best infrastructure and then release a car, and then everyone buys that car because they're the only ones with the good infrastructure. But once you've like saturated the market enough where so many people have Teslas, it's such a household name, they're bigger than every other car company by far.
Yeah.
Then you can be like, okay, like we've sold, we're still going to sell cars, but like we've kind of like, we're sort of plateauing a little bit. So then switch over to becoming the gas pump, because now you can like, even with the Magic Dock, you have the Tesla app, you can pay Tesla for energy.
Again, subscribers, tons of people have been wanting to use that networking, and now you just have a price tag and you just let it loose.
And then now they get the licensing from MNACS, which is going to be basically the standard.
Yeah.
They get the gas, the electricity money from like everyone that's charging from, like they're going to be there. That company is going to the moon.
They finally have money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they can develop like a sports car or something. That'd be cool.
Like one that they showed off 7 years ago.
yeah, 2017. God, that's thing's never coming out. I don't want to think about it. It's never happening.
Oh man.
Okay. Well, we can end it at that. I think that's probably a good bet. I don't know if we have any stakes for this bet, but I'm the only one on my side of it, so let's not make it too crazy.
Yeah, you stand alone.
And with that, let's do trivia. Let's finish it up. I have 2 whiteboards because I have Andrew's.
Oh, I've got one over here.
Oh, I need one of those markers.
okay.
You have one over there.
Actually, give me the other one. I'll give you a marker for a whiteboard.
Okay.
While they get their whiteboards out, Adam and I have an important trivia announcement to make, and that is we need your help. we have a very exciting trivia special coming out in the next few weeks. But before we can make that episode, we need to know how you feel about tech stuff. So if you go on the Waveform Twitter, if you go in our Discord, the Waveform channel in the MKBHD Discord, you'll see a link to a Google form. Fill it out if you have a few minutes. It doesn't take that much time at all. It's pretty simple questions, but it will make our next trivia episode even more fun.
Can we
That's a lot
reveal
of smarts, but also a lot of data.
Can we reveal the format? I think that would be fun.
We can reveal the format, but I don't know how to do it because Jono was like, you can't use the
We're
words.
not gonna get sued.
All right, without using the words, do you guys know that game show where Steve, the guy with the
Harvey,
mustache,
Steve Harvey?
points at
Oh,
the
wait,
board and
sorry.
goes, "We asked 100 people what they think of this. Survey says." Yeah, so we're gonna do something like that.
Yeah.
We just need those people to say the things
Yeah.
about tech.
We asked 100. We asked. It's honestly going to be thousands of MKBHD fans. Survey or
We can say
Survey
survey.
says
Probably,
we're
right?
not
Do they
gonna
copyright
get
that?
sued, y'all.
Survey says.
Yeah.
Mustache Man knows people.
Yeah. I also want to
There's
say
so many pirated clips of that show on anywhere.
I don't remember where I was yesterday. I was somewhere. Oh, I was in a restaurant and Family Feud was playing on the big TV. And for like the 4 minutes that I was watching, oh wait, not Family Feud. Family Fight.
That's just different. That's the Family Fight is the one in It's Always Sunny. Anyway, sorry, just keep telling you.
Yeah, so I was playing on the TV and I didn't see anyone like guessing questions or anything. It was just Steve Harvey like dancing with one of the like people from one of the families.
Oh, people love his outtakes.
The entire time they were just like dancing.
That's the
It's really
beauty
weird.
of Steve Harvey as a game show host is when he needs to, he can just be like a hawk about the rules and just be
Yeah.
like, we're here to play the game. And then other times he's just like,
Messing around.
this is my show and I'm going to use my 30 minutes how I want.
Yeah. Anyway, it was weird.
Honestly, he's a game show maestro. As a producer of this show, I look up to Steve Harvey immensely.
And the team. Shout
And
out to the
only
team.
that way.
Hopefully, yeah.
If you're a lawyer from CBS, please don't come after us. Okay.
CBS,
TBS.
ABC.
Schmeebius.
Anyway,
All of it.
it's going to be fun if you answer the questionnaire. There's a link on Twitter. It will be on our Discord as well.
Show notes.
But yeah, so that way we can go like survey says, and then we have like a lot of data, a lot of smarts, and also a lot of data.
That bell sound. For sure.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So score of this trivia round,
Oh boy.
So far,
Marquez has 19, Andrew has 18, David in the lead with 23. Damn.
go baby.
So,
Needed like a game show to catch up.
first question. Twitch is wildly popular for gaming streamers.
True.
YouTube gaming was launched in 2015, but when was it discontinued and imported into regular YouTube? You will get 1 point for the year, another point for the month. You do not look confident, Marquez.
My train of thought is
I have a
a
random
freight train, meaning it's very slow
Ow.
to get started. But once it's going, I can't really change it.
And boy, is it full of good stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't catch fire.
It interrupts traffic everywhere.
Spells chemicals everywhere. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, we both said 2017.
Both said 2017. Okay.
I said March.
I said January.
All
Ah.
right.
Wow.
Great,
O
great,
for
great.
O.
Was it
I'll-
2016?
It was 2018.
It lasted
Yeah,
that long.
I was surprised.
I thought
too.
it might have been
September
20
2018.
I almost guessed 2019, so I wouldn't have gotten either
Close.
right.
I'll ask Andrew later, and we'll cut him in here. That's it? You got your answer?
Yeah, I think so.
Flip it and read.
2018. Let's go.
Correct.
Let's-
2018. For one extra point, do you know the month?
August.
September. So close. But you got a point. Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
3 years for a Google product that is pointless is pretty good. Like the Google products that are good usually
like
last at
5
least
years.
one more year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, question number 2. WWDC wasn't always called WWDC.
it's gonna be the weird answer, isn't it?
Before that,
I'm just writing Geico now.
was it called A, the Macintosh Developers World Gathering, MDWG. B, Apple Independent Software Developers Conference, the AISDC. C, the Santa Clara Developers Symposium, SCDS. Or D, the Global Electronic and Information Coders Open House, GEICO.
Open house. Oh, it's one of the two.
It is. I think I'm pretty confident.
When you're making a trivia question, does anyone ever make A the answer? It's kind of like when you're answering multiple choice on a quiz. Like, is it ever
You just
A?
by a rule always say like C or B.
Like B, yeah, or D.
On
A-
the SATs, isn't there?
It's either A. The answer is either A or B, unless I'm wrong. So, all right, I said A.
I said MDWG, which is A, I think.
No,
Dang
yeah,
it.
it's
B. I don't remember what that was, but it's B.
Correct. 2 points. 2 for 2.
Was the first one, were you trying to mess me up with MDW?
Yes.
Good.
Well, this
I'm
was
glad I
Alice's
caught-
question. So, 1, we wanted to mess you up. And 2, I don't know if you noticed, but D spells out Geico.
Oh, I did not notice that. They stopped saying Apple or like Mac related things. So
Yeah.
I figured I wanted to keep it with that. But the first one being MDW, New Jerseyans call Memorial Day weekend MDW. It's
Oh, I
like
did not know
bigger
that.
than like July 4th, I feel like, in Jersey. But
Interesting.
that's what I was like, that's a joke. I think it's a joke. But
Not intended, but sure.
let's go. You know, it was worth getting my entire vacation canceled and ruined for me to come in and go 2 for 2 on trivia this week. So
Take the lead against Marquez.
hopefully the rest of the episode was good without me, but you know, come in clutch here when I can.
Is it B?
It was B, the Apple Independent Software Developers Conference. I knew it! Sorry.
I almost wrote that.
I cannot believe you guys didn't pick Geico.
I wanted to. I wrote it first, but I crossed it out.
When Adam and I wrote this question, we decided Geico should be an answer and then spent so much time in the thesaurus trying to make it work.
What was
house
B
is
again? It was
The Apple Independent Software Developers Conference.
That's actually okay. That makes more sense. My reasoning was that at the time that this started, Mac was probably the only thing you could develop for applications for, but because like on the iPod you couldn't make applications for the iPod.
Well, this was also 1983.
Yeah.
Was the first one.
It was like
there wasn't an iPod.
only the
back
Mac
then.
was out.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's why I thought it was.
But
The Mac came out in 1984
oh,
because it had the famous commercial. 1984 won't be.
No,
like
that wasn't the first Mac though. They had like the Lisa. They made the
But
1984.
the Lisa's not a Mac. It's the Lisa.
Oh, good point.
did they not even have the Mac name? That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure the Lisa came out in 83.
Was-
I'm pretty sure that the 84 Apple release was
like
the
the
first
Macintosh.
Macintosh.
What products did they have that you could develop for at that time?
They had the Lisa. They had the Apple II. They had.
So I shouldn't have put Mac in the name, of course, because I was thinking like, if you wanted to scale for an X period of time, you need to have it ambiguous enough that it's just like we are developing things,
Yeah.
not it's connected to a product. So I shouldn't have said A, but yeah.
But we did.
Anyway, I did.
That's
I
the
did.
thing we did.
That's okay. I'll maintain my lead, but just not be even more maintaining it. You know, that's okay.
I don't think Andrew's gonna get that one.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we'll run those by Andrew and see if he gets them right. But until the next episode, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
peace. Waveform is a.
Waveform is produced by Adam. Wait.
Wait, what?
That's how it starts, right? Okay. Waveform is produced by Adam Alita and Ellis Roven. We are partnered with the Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music is that not what he said?
It's a part of the Vox Media.
Waveform is produced by Ellis Roven and Adam Molina.
That's
we
backwards.
are part of the.
It's Adam Molina and Ellis Rowan.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Roven. We are part of the Vox Media Podcast Network.
Newark, New Jersey.
Waveform is produced by Adam. Waveform. This is throwing me off. I can't point. Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Roven. We are part of the Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music is created by Vane Sill.
Wait, is created in it or is it just by?
That's good enough.